All right, a new drug today is the end of the week as we get set for a stadium practice. They'll be in the ball yard tomorrow. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon, JJ LaSelva with you on this dreary Friday. We have a storm front coming through. Did you know that?
I saw that. It's going to be like Sunday night, I think, while we're sleeping.
Monday's going to be nasty.
Kind of rainy. Yeah, and then Monday a little bit.
The storm front's what they call it. Okay? It'd be nasty.
It's Florida.
Yeah, it is. But
at least it's not like a Cat 3 or 4 or 5.
No.
It's more of a minor one.
Right. And but we should get the good weather for the practice tomorrow. Mm-hmm. B, not that I'm selfish because I'm not, but also good weather for the golf round after the practice. There you go. I mean, if we're talking, we've got to bring that stuff up. So
nature will wait to send the really dangerous hurricane when there's a football game. I can't wait to watch.
We had the longest stretch of that for a while. You could almost count on one. Now, we haven't had one in a while, right?
It seems like
I'm kind of going to jinx it by saying that.
Been a while.
But for the longest time, we'd lose a game a year.
Oh, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Particularly if it was a game I wanted to see.
It does tend to happen to you. Hey, a lot of things to talk about today on the program. We were out of practice today. Tough injury for Patrick Murtaugh today. It's kind of hard to watch, a difficult ankle injury, but hopefully he'll be okay.
He was in good spirits, being taken away, which I was really impressed by his toughness because it was the kind of injury where a lot of times guys will scream, and he did not.
No, he really didn't.
There's nothing wrong with screaming. I mean, that's a perfectly normal thing to do, but just, he handled it, well, and then he was even firing up the crowd as he was being carted, away. So obviously very tough kid and a player that has a good amount of talent. I mean, he was part of the international program. He still is. So he doesn't count against their roster. So they're allowed to keep 91 because of the international player pathway program. And this was his first year on the roster. But I had a chance to talk with Evan Ingram after practice.
Who's in the same room.
And, obviously plays the same position. And it was interesting hearing him talk about Patrick. So, anyway, but yes, a very, very difficult injury to see. Again, we were talking about it among the media corps. Probably the worst practice injury any of us have ever seen. There wasn't one that any of us could harken back to, because Dante Fowler's he just sort of crumpled and went down when he tore his ACL. It wasn't like gruesome like this was, where the Patrick's leg was obviously going the wrong way.
Right.
So obviously very, very difficult for him, but he was in great spirits, and I'm sure he'll get excellent medical care and be back next season.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal, and the fans were all there, so all the fans saw it. It was at the fans' end of the field, so it was right in front of the fans are on the one end zone side. I take it many of you have been to the Miller Electric Center, but for those who haven't, all the fans are on the end zones of the 3 fields, and so is it 2 fields or 3 fields? 2 fields.
It's 2.
It makes 2 fields. The end zone, the end zone of the 2 fields, and 2 fields are side by side, so you're in the end zone of those. And it was in the near field toward the inside. And when he got when the collision happened, his foot was pointing sideways. His foot was your knees pointing one way, your foot told us. And we've seen those injuries, and you could tell he was in a lot of pain. And there was a lot of ooh and on. I'll tell you what, it was hard to watch his foot angle pointing the wrong way. But I'll say 2 or 3 things. You made the best point. He just said there, you could tell he was in pain, but wasn't yelling, screaming. That Jaguars medical team is so good. They ran out there, looked like, and again, I don't know the technical. Is it dislocated?
They reset it,
but they reset it immediately.
Yep.
Immediately had it reset. Immediately had the card out there. Immediately had him off. Like you said, he was responding to the crowd. It shows you how good those NFL medical folks in general and the Jaguars medical folks specifically are. I mean, it was boom, 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 and taken care of. It really was. Can you imagine if that happened to you in a car accident and there's no medical people around?
Right.
I've heard many times the 2 best places to have a bad injury are a hospital or a football stadium, because that's where you have the best and most medical personnel. So they handle it very well. It was kind of gruesome to watch, but handled very well. So we'll talk a little bit about the Jags today as they get set to go and do a stadium practice. You caught up with Evan Ingram, one of the really good guys on the team, isn't he?
He's outstanding. He's the reigning Good Guy Award winner, which goes to the player that the media feels like was the most cooperative, pleasant to deal with, willing to answer tough questions in tough times. So Evan was very deserving of that last year, and he's I think he's everybody's one of everybody's favorite guys to talk to on the team, and he's a great player. So what's cool about Evan is he's got obviously this amazing pregame, pre-practice workout routine. Doug Peterson spoke in very glowing terms of Evan before the practice, and so it's always fun getting a chance to catch up with Evan, and he's insightful. There's certain things that obviously he's optimistic about, and there's certain things that he's pretty candid about need to get better.
Yeah, so you'll hear that interview that comes up in just a few minutes. We'll have that interview for you in about 10 minutes or so. So we'll look forward to that as always. I got a thought about the Gators I'm going to get to later on. Pete Prisco is going to check in at 5 o'clock and talk some NFL with us. I'll look forward to that. Hated it for Caleb Dressel. Caleb Dressel didn't swim well today. He missed out on both the 50-meter free and the 100 fly. The defending gold medalist in both events. Now, listen, I can't think of many people who've had a better career. 8 gold medals, right, for Caleb Dressel in his career.
Yeah, he was 8 for 8.
Yeah,
because he won gold earlier in these games.
Yeah, so
unbelievable career, but obviously
very disappointing.
Very disappointing.
And when you saw how emotional he was, it really just underscores Hays, the work, the years, the grind they put in. You know that for this, for the one moment. And
right.
And for Caleb Dressel, it's always been a fantastic moment, So, but it really does show it. So we'll certainly we hate that for him. But it's been an interesting Olympic Games. All right. So here's the deal. I didn't watch much of the XFL or USFL or UFL or WFL or whatever they're calling their most recent incarnation. But did the kickoffs always look that goofy? I guess they did. Why did it look even goofier last night?
Probably just because it's an NFL game.
Maybe that's
so you're seeing it in Bears uniforms, and you think of butt kiss and sweetness.
It's real football. You're right. Yeah, that's a good description. That's a good answer.
That's what I would think it is. I still think it's going to become popular. I don't think as we get into it and people get used to it, I think it will become. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and call it the dynamic kickoff,
right?
Like the league wants you to, but the new kickoff, I do think, is going to bring some energy back to the game. It was a dead play. If I were a head coach, I would just kick it through the end zone and let them start at the 30.
Well, a lot of people think that's where it's headed.
And I think that's probably where it has to head.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the returner breaks the first wall, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that you've got literally your kicker. And I'm sorry, but they're going to have about a 1 in 200 chance of getting that returner out of bounds or to the ground if that returner breaks free. And so if I was a head coach, I would not want to lose a game on it. So I would just say, you know what? I don't like it, but we'll let the offense start at the 30 as opposed to the 25, and we'll go from there. Because particularly if your opponent has quality return men, like I don't know why anybody would kick to the Jaguars and let Devin Duvernay have an opportunity to return that on you. I mean, if that happens, he's going to have 2 or 3 this year. So that's where I think it's good. I think it brings a needed excitement back to the play. But I almost wonder if it's going to result in almost being too easy to score on.
Right.
And then you're just going to see coaches just saying, we need to just kick it out of the end zone. And then the competition committee will have to, in the next offseason, figure out, okay, do we want to make it more penal if you're going to kick it out of the end zone? Do we want to put it at the 35?
Which was the discussion.
Yeah.
In fact, I even think the USFL or XFL, I think they did the 35, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see. Jay, did you watch it? Did you see the kickoff last night? Were you watching?
No, I was not watching, but I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, it was just watching it. It was goofy looking. I will tell you guys now. I was gonna announce this later, but I'll go ahead and scoop myself on this. Hey, it's big news. I've dusted up the resume. I'm applying for a new job. I'm gonna be the kickoff holder guy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's safe.
Yeah, it is safe.
You run off the field.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enlist Drew Rosenhaus as my agent.
Yeah.
Okay, I want big dollars. Mm-hmm. You hold it and you run off the field.
Yeah.
I mean. So there's 12 players on the field when the ball's kicked, as long as you run off the field. What are we doing?
again,
We'll run off the field.
Well, I mean,
it's for safety, Frank.
Well,
but of course, we're going to add another regular season game. But
well,
it's for safety.
I would think it's in terms of that. I would think that's only if they've got wins.
Right.
And so we in the old system, you would see sometimes guys would have to hold the kickoff, but then they would just run down.
They're still one of the 11.
Be part of the coverage. Yeah. So I don't think you're going to see that unless it's just inclement weather. Obviously, the Hall of Fame game got stopped late third quarter because of weather. So I think you're not going to see that very often. It is clumsy, but I don't think you're going to see that very often. But so I'm
so you don't
excited.
like my chance to get employed. That's what you're telling me.
Well, I wouldn't apply to cities with a dome.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Listen, you got to geo-target your prospects. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go.
So you don't like the kickoff, huh?
No, I don't mind it
You're
at
just
all.
it's just
no.
takes some getting.
But I'm
used
glad
to.
you asked me that because I'm not. Oh my God, it's terrible. I don't feel. It just looked weird. I think what looked weird, two things. Obviously, the players all being close together.
Right.
But they're all turning around watching the return guy.
Yeah.
So they're all facing the same way.
Right.
That's what's weird is the guys blocking.
Because he can't move.
Correct. So the guys blocking aren't looking at the guys that are getting ready to block.
Right.
They look because they can't move until he catches it.
Yeah.
So it just looked weird. It was real.
I will.
No, I don't. No, I like innovative stuff. I don't hate it at all. I don't know whether I'm going to like or hate it.
Right.
I'm just telling you, it looked weird.
Right.
It looked really weird.
It certainly does look unusual for what we're accustomed to. And, again, I commend the XFL or whoever thought of this because the NFL is just, to their credit, they're copying it. So at least they're not saying, well, since this wasn't our idea, we're not going to embrace it.
Correct.
Because it's a good idea. So I commend whoever thought this up because you have solved the injury issue, but you've added the return back into the game, which was not the easiest of tasks. So
I agree.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, but I do think there's going to be teams that, boy, I think they're going to take advantage of it. And if you don't have a kicker that can kick the ball out of bounds through the end zone, you're going to really need to look at that because if you're going to basically say, we know with our kicker it's going to be a return more often than not, I think you're going to get burned. I think it's only going to take a little bit of an opening for returners as good as these guys are to hit that and break through it, and you're not catching them.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not be surprised if the leader this season in the NFL in terms of kick return touchdowns, I would not be surprised if it's 5.
Yeah.
Which is an absurdly high number.
It is.
I mean, we talked about it last year. I want to say there was only 2 guys when I looked up the stats for kick return last year. Only 2 guys qualified because that's how few kick returns there were in the NFL, that there was only 2 players that had enough to qualify for it. Whereas I think this year, and Devin Duvernay could absolutely be at the top of that list.
Couldn't they just back the kicker up?
What do you mean?
Like if the problem is not enough returns,
yes, they could do that.
Why couldn't they just back the kicker up 10 yards?
They could do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right.
Seems a lot simpler.
Yeah. They could absolutely do that.
What they really wanted to eliminate though was the head-on collisions.
Right.
That when both 2 walls of people flying at each other at warp speed.
Right.
That's what they're trying to eliminate. The whole point in this, the main point was getting the blockers and the tackler close together.
Right.
So the collisions wouldn't be as extreme.
You wouldn't have the knockouts.
I get that, but they're adding another game. Like, I just don't buy the whole it's about safety when they're adding another regular season game. That's total phoniness.
Well, their belief, right or wrong, is that this game can be played safely, but it's got to be legislated that way.
Right.
And I would agree that's somewhat naive because it's a gladiator sport, but that's their thinking. Is that the number of games aren't as consequential if we're playing the games in a more safe manner.
Correct. And by the way,
madness.
I'm not saying that I agree with that, but that's the league's stance on it.
And by the way, if they were the real reality of that, and JJ, I hear your point. If they were afraid going to 18 games wouldn't be safe enough, they wouldn't have gone to 17 and 16 and 14 games. They'd still be playing 12 like they played in the 60s. You know?
Oh, I know they don't care about that.
But I think if they thought that was the big thing. Back to your point, Hays, about you said it exactly right. they want safer kickoffs, but they don't want all touchbacks. That's why they did this. If they wanted, if it was just safety, heck, they'd put it at the 40-yard line and kick everything into the stands, because they almost were doing that anyway. I think one thing that changed all of it, I don't think the league, college football or pro football, but the league ever counted, Hays, on people being able to kick it out of the end zone that easily. Remember now, I said this earlier, when I was a kid, 40-yard field goals weren't automatic. And now if you miss a 40-yard field goal, it's like missing an extra point. It's amazing. So I mean, kicking has gotten so good. So a lot of things to talk about today. Let's take a break. Let's talk some Jaguar football. I want you to hear from Evan Ingram. Like Hays said, he'll tell you the things he's excited about. He'll tell you the things he's concerned about. It's a good interview as always. The Hays Carlyon one-on-one kicks us off. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Simone Biles becomes the first U.S. gymnast with 6 gold medals. She wins the individual all-around for the second time after pulling out of the final in Tokyo.
3 years ago, I never thought I'd step foot on a gymnastics floor again just because of everything that had happened. But at the end of the day, it is crazy that I am in the conversation of greatest of all athletes because I just still think I'm Simone Biles from Spring, Texas that loves to flip.
At 27, Biles is the oldest woman to win the all-around since 1952. Suni Lee takes the bronze. In the pool, Katie Ledecky gets the silver as part of the 200-meter freestyle relay, her 13th Olympic medal, a record for American women. And 57 straight Olympic wins for the U.S. women's basketball team to lock up a spot in the quarterfinals. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select a new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 on a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment. Get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest that you're a cabana side. Slade hot yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adults at a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And look who's back and causing a stir. Our refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Are the company's Zoom calls getting boring? Might be a good time to order some new logo caps or temporary tattoos. Check them out online at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hi, it's Ben, second generation from Beards Diamonds. Guys, if you're popping the question soon, looking for an anniversary gift, before you buy anywhere, shop Beards. From a half carat to 10 carats, Beards will beat any competitor's price.
In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 877-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Quarterbacking can be complicated. Denny Thompson simplifies it for us.
Yeah, I want to tell you what's really happening at the quarterback position.
Friday mornings on The Drill, brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Get your first look at the team inside Everbank Stadium during our 2024 stadium practice Saturday, August 3rd. The season is almost here. Don't miss your chance to see the players up close before they take the field this fall. Stadium practice is free to attend and seats are going fast, so register for tickets at jaguars.com/training camp. We can't wait to see you there.
Join the fun with XL Primetime, Tuesday, August 6th at Firehouse Subs in San Marco. Get pictures and autographs from Jags players, cheerleaders, and Jackson DeVille. Tuesday, August 6th, 2 to 4 at Firehouse Subs in San Marco.
1010XL Weekly is out now. Mia here, and text the word weekly to subscribe to our new 1010XL newsletter and for a chance to win Jaguars and concert tickets. Get an inside look at local sports, trending players, station info, and chances to win prizes all year long.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin, just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
This is Hays Carlyon here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now back to a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. Big Chief Tire. Visit BigChiefService.com.
We thank our friends from Big Chief Tire. 5 locations in town departments. That's a wonderful, wonderful family. I mean, they really, really are that. The locations are on the north side, 2 on the west side, Orange Park now, and over here on the south side on Phillips Highway. You'll love the folks. You'll love the way they treat you, whether it's oil changes or brakes, alignments, and, of course, those terrific tires. Really good people, really know the industry. Head to Big Chief Tire for all your automotive needs. Frangie and Carlyon, J.J. LaSelva. Evan Ingram, best tight end in Jags history? Too early for that?
It feels too early for that, but maybe. I mean, I haven't really thought about it. I guess so.
And it's early. And he's got the best receiving numbers in a single season.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than that, and test of time matters, and tenure matters.
Yeah.
And Mercedes Lewis was a really good player for a lot of years in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the pass catcher that Evan Ingram is. So
Kyle Brady, would he have a
I
case?
would. And I like Kyle very much, but if I was voting, I would still have Mercedes first and Evan second. I would have him ahead of Kyle Brady. I would have him ahead of Pete Mitchell, who was a really good pass catcher back in the day.
Yeah.
I would have him. Right now he would be second on the list. Right, if he got hurt this year and never came back, he'd be second on the list for me.
Yeah. So I mean, he's certainly got a chance because with the Jaguars, let's see now in 2 years, Evan has 187 receptions, 1,729 yards, 8 touchdowns. So, if he were to have a 90 catch, 950 yard season, 6 touchdowns, I mean, it would certainly start to move him up the list.
Yeah. He's one of the best pass catchers in Jaguars history, and I think he'll be remembered as such. He's a guy, too, by the way, I think will really benefit Hays from all of it. From if indeed Brian Thomas, he looked good on that deep ball today, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That's one we needed to see. But Brian Thomas, Gabe Davis can stretch the field. Obviously, that opens up those crossers for Christian Kirk, but I think that opens up an awful lot of that underneath stuff if it plays out that way.
Mm-hmm.
For Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram's a terrific guy. He's a terrific wide receiver. He kind of refound his NFL life when he got to Jacksonville a few years ago, and he's the topic of this Hays Carlyon one-on-one.
We are pleased to be joined with Jaguars tight end Evan Ingram here on 1010XL 92.5 FM, and it's always great to see you, but obviously a somber practice today. Tell us about Patrick and the work he's done. I know it's part of the game, but boy, that's got to be tough to see.
Yeah, that's just that was a tough one. Pat has been honestly, he's been a highlight of my career. Honestly, like seeing a guy just fully newly introduced to the game and how fast he's picked it up and how well he looks and his drive and his effort, his willingness to just get in and learn and do anything. It's unfortunate, and everything happens for a reason. But I think he'll be somebody that's going to recover real fast and get right back in the mix. So. We're going to stand by him. We're going to support him. We're going to get him through it, and we're going to be his family while he's here, and then help him get back as fast as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I know as the leader of that room, you guys will absolutely do that. And he showed some great toughness, firing up the crowd as he was, being taken off. But how do you feel like, Evan, it's going for you? It seems like another really productive camp.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to make the team. Everybody's here. I'm trying to make the 53-man roster, and every year I have that same mentality. Do everything I can to make the team. So, and definitely this year I'm trying to push guys and lead by example and set the tone every day. And the guys have been awesome, responding and pushing me as well. And I think as an offense, we're starting to turn the corner, playing physical, eliminating mistakes. Obviously, still learning, gaining feedback on things that we can work on. And defense has been awesome. Defense has been challenging us every single day. They're flying around and playing together. So as a team, we're pushing each other. We're competing. And iron sharpens iron. That's our mentality. And I think it's been a great camp of that. We just got to finish, keep going.
You see a big difference on that side of the ball, the defense.
Yeah, man. They're just together. They're just all locked in. They're moving as one. They're on the same page. Obviously, they have high standards as well. I hear Coach Ryan, getting after them a little bit when things aren't going right, and the leaders over there respond as well. So it's been really cool. It's definitely a good thing to see. Is we're so focused on offense and getting our offense going, but knowing that we're getting our offense going, knowing that we have a defense that can get on the field and get us the ball back, that builds a lot of confidence on our side of the ball as well. So been very pleased with what I've seen and what I'm competing against right now.
Your pre-practice and pre-game routine is becoming the stuff of legend in Jacksonville with what you do kind of before the practice. Take us through, for fans that can't be out here, what do you approach the day before you even get out to a 2.5-hour practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about chasing adversity for me. Trying to obviously get to bed early and sacrificing some, comfortable things at night to get sleep, and then waking up early to get my body going. I don't like kind of, waking up, on time. I like to be a little early, get my body moving, shock the system a little bit with a cold tub, do some balance and stuff, get the muscles firing, and then pre-practice, I like to get a little warm-up in, a little practice before practice. I think if I can be ready to go full speed on the first rep of practice, instead of, using the ND period period and using some of the other things that kind of at the beginning of practice to get warmed up, I have an edge on the competition. I have an edge on, who's lining up in front of me that day. So, just get a lot of ball drills, get the eyes moving, get the hands going, get the yak moving going, just get the muscles firing and moving around, getting speed. And once practice starts, I'm all lathered up and ready to go. So just a routine, just something I'm committing to, and really just chasing adversity, challenging myself, pushing myself, and it'll pay off in the long run.
You guys went live today for a couple periods. It seemed like the ground game did some good things. ETN, Bigsby, were you pleased with how you guys were able to block them up?
For sure. I can sit here and talk about all day about how the offensive line has looked. Just their mentality, the way they're firing off the ball, the way they're pushing each other, the way they're leading from the front. It starts with them. Our success this year as an offense is going to rely heavily on them, and they've answered the bell. I love watching them on the field. I love watching them compete. I love watching them on tape, and they're building a consistent product right now. So it starts with them. They've been balling. Pat's come on, and they haven't backed down at all, and our backs are getting upfield. Everybody's committing to the run game. We got to be able to run the ball, help Trevor, keep defenses honest, and just have a physical mindset. That's just the kind of identity we want to build. And so Doug is putting us out here and putting us to work and letting us compete, so we got to take advantage of it.
In terms of Trevor going into year 3 with him, what sort of nuances can you guys get to now, having that level of familiarity and all the success you guys have had?
Yeah, I think it's just trying to master really just attacking the field, attacking all over the field. We've been really good in some areas. Some areas we've kind of hit or miss or not really fully communicating on. And I think we're just we're trying to turn over every stone. Talk about every possibility. Things that he likes, things that he sees. He loves to talk about what I see and what I like, and all the other receivers. I think that's the next step for us is to really turn over every stone of attacking all over the field. And we just got to protect the football. He's got to protect the football. We have to hold on to the football. We have to catch the ball. We have to make him right. And we all just got to play cohesive football. So I think that's kind of the main thing. We're going to make plays. We're going to be explosive. He's going to make great throws. But we got to clean up the details and attack the little things and be great at those too.
Sounds good. Evan Ingram, thank you so much for your time, and certainly best of luck to you the rest of the way.
Hey, it's good to talk to you, man.
Always fun catching up with Evan Ingram, and I think he's a pretty good bet to make the 53-man roster.
Now,
but you gotta love that mentality.
I did get a chuckle out of that.
Yeah, it was one of those things that, like, when he said it, sometimes when you're interviewing somebody, you don't know if they're joking.
Right.
So there was like a millisecond where I almost went to laugh, and then I was like, "Oh, he's like serious about that." And it's a great mentality to have of don't take anything for granted, and certainly Evan Ingram does not. Doug Peterson raved about him. I don't know if we have that clip or anything, but Doug was asked about Evan's approach to his job, and Doug Peterson, I thought, gave an outstanding answer. He is a pro's pro. I mean, Evan Ingram is everything that you'd want. You have that, JJ?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
He approaches it like a professional. Practices at 9 a.m. and he's out there at 8:20. Going through a routine, and that's what great players in this league do, especially, guys year in, year out that have had consistent years and good years, and he's one of those, and he works on his craft, and he wants to improve, and he wants to show his teammates, what it takes, to be that pro and to get himself, ready for just a training camp practice.
And we've seen it. Whether it's a game or practice, if you've been out there, you see 17's out there first. That's who comes out there. Mm-hmm. He's got his routine, and he goes through it. Great work, as always, Thanks. On the interview. Hays has headlines next. Stay with us.
It's The Ride Home with The Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Summer is here, which means it's time for road trips and family vacations. Frank Frangie here. Before you hit the road, make sure your car can handle the heat with a visit to Big Chief Tire. Their expert technicians will ensure your vehicle can handle the summer heat. From tire checks to AC services. Avoid the stress of a breakdown and travel with confidence. Visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your summer checkup today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Folks, this summer, happiness is a new Chevy. That's right, a new Chevy Silverado from Nimnick Chevrolet. Get this. This month, you can save up to $8,500 off a new Silverado. Or, well-qualified buyers can get rates as low as 1.9% financing on all new Silverado 1500 model. And that's with the largest inventory on the ground, outstanding cash incentives, and the best price guarantee. Your perfect truck is waiting for you at Nimnick Chevrolet. Now remember, Nimnick will always give you top dollar for your trade, and for a limited time, up to an additional $2,250 in trade assistance. Want an even better deal? Well, ask about Demo Model for even deeper discounts. You can shop online 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership conveniently located at the corner of Park and Cabot. This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. So head to Nimnick Chevrolet today. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Do it with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Are you an annoying know-it-all? Answering questions no one asked of you? Do people often ask you, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts specifically trained to help match you with the right mattress, so anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
The Reggie Hunt Memorial Golf Classic fundraiser golf tournament is Friday, October 25th at Amelia River Golf Club. All proceeds support Big Brothers Big Sisters. Register at the Big Brothers Big Sisters events page.
Mia O'Brien is going to be the first woman president of the United States of America.
Catch me weekdays from noon to 2 on Helmets and Heels.
And she could run later this year even, and I would vote for her.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota on 1010XL.
911, what's your emergency?
Help, we don't have air conditioning.
Ma'am, 911 is for emergencies only.
Well, my husband's trying to stuff himself in the refrigerator.
I see. Well, maybe you should call Duck Duck Air Conditioning.
To get him out of the fridge?
To get a new AC system.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning, Jacksonville area's AC experts. For service, repairs to new installations, trust the Duck. DuckDuckAC.com.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Hello, sports fans. Hicken here. Let's talk skin. Iron Beach's Dermatology are reminding you to wear your sunscreen.
If you're an active parent hanging at the fields, in your boat to fish, or like to chill at the sandbar, wear sunscreen. But if you're the one that decided for years it's not cool, guess what? Cancer isn't cool either. So when grabbing the clubs for your tea time, gassing up the boat, or grabbing the chairs for your kids' games, make sure you bring the screen. Any concerns now? Give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Sports fans, JJ LaSalva here. When I need to send my bride flowers or a plant for birthdays or anniversaries, I always go with Kuhn Flowers. After all, they've been the leading florist in these parts for over 75 years. You can always rely on Kuhn Flowers.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
As we get further along into training camp, with preseason already coming up next weekend, the team is beginning to take shape. Here's Coach Peterson on his offense and defense.
We had a red zone day a couple days ago, and Trevor had success there, and he was able to find, Brian Thomas, and he was able to find, Gabe Davis in the back of the end zone and do the things that we know we can do. So, you take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, the defense is always, a step or two ahead of where the offense usually is at this time.
While Ryan Nielsen's defense came out aggressive to camp, the offense had a slow start. Finally, the comfort level is starting to come, and the offense is beginning to utilize their weapons. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. We've got JJ LaSalva. I am Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call. 251-1111. All right, Frank, let's get into it. Jaguars training camp practice number 8. Full contact.
Yeah.
Fun to see.
And tackling to the ground at sometimes, too. I mean, like full contact. A lot of times in football practice, even full contact doesn't mean full contact. It means full contact until there's contact, and then it's a thud. They were tackling to the ground today. You're exactly right about that. It was fun to watch. Some things stood out. You talked about at the top. Tough injury for Patrick Murtaugh, whose ankle got injured. But there were some plays that stood out. I think maybe for me, and I think this was on 7-on-7, baby, but the deep ball to Brian Thomas Jr. along the right sideline going away from the fans might have been the play of the day, I thought.
Yeah, I would agree. One thing that stood out to me, too, is Trayvon Walker is starting to develop more of a pass rush array. His inside movement, I think, is really improved when you look at him on in team and one-on-one. So seeing some good signs for Trayvon. I really thought Etienne and Bigsby played well today.
Yeah, me too. I've told you all along. I think Bigsby's going to be one of the unsung heroes that emerges from this camp. I think they're going to use two backs. I think he's going to be the downhill runner. I think they're going to be appreciably better in third and short, which was a real Achilles heel for this team last year. So I think the backs are going to be pretty good. So, no, I agree with you. I think that's an area of strength, and it's going to be fun to watch.
You mentioned the injury to reserve tight end Patrick Murtaugh. He appeared to break his ankle in goal line drills. We wish him certainly the best in his recovery. The Australian rookie is part of the International Player Pathway Program, so he does not count. The Jaguars get an extra roster spot for that player. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach it. But Patrick Murtaugh was a player that they liked, and it's unfortunate that his season is, I would think, over.
Yeah, it looked like his foot was turned the wrong way, and they put it back in place pretty quickly. So I think and listen, like we're doctors, right? But just followed it long enough. I think the possibility exists that he dislocated it, but that there might not have been a bad break in there. Now, I don't know, and that's certainly something we'll talk to Kevin Kaplan about when given the opportunity. But you're right. It was even if he's gone for the year, and certainly have to wonder if maybe he is, he's a guy, you made the point earlier, Evan Ingram pointed out that they kind of like him. There's a lot to like about Patrick Murtaugh.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The injuries are starting to mount a little bit for the Jaguars here as we get, pretty deep into training camp. Tomorrow will be the 9th practice of camp in the stadium tomorrow. By the way, if you want to go to to that stadium practice. You just need to go register at Jaguars.com to make sure you can get into the stadium, but that's always a lot of fun. But Doug Peterson said prior to practice that right tackle Anton Harrison is in concussion protocol. Left tackle Cam Robinson left practice with a shoulder injury. Peterson said safety Andrew Wingard is going to be out for a while with a knee injury, so that's probably several weeks. And defensive tackle Eric Armstead remains on PUP. So there's more, but some significant injuries now piling up for the Jaguars.
Yeah, the three recent ones are important ones. Dewey's an important part of that team. He's part of the heart and soul of who they are. He's been one of the best leaders in that locker room for a number of years here. He makes plays. Heck, he had one practice with 2 interceptions already. So not having him is going to matter. When you're reconfiguring your safety circumstance, that's going to matter. As for the tackle position, that's a concern. That's your 2 starting tackles. And Walker Little's a good swing tackle, but he can't play them both, Hays. And so not at the same time. And so you certainly hope that both Cam and Anton Harrison. Now, look, you don't play until September. You're a month away from a game that matters, but you certainly hope those guys can come back.
No doubt about it. Let's get to around the NFL. The Hall of Fame game was last night. It got called in the third quarter because of weather, with the Bears leading the Texans 21-17. You know, it was cool seeing Cam Akers. I'd forgotten kind of where he even was. Injuries have really derailed his career. I thought he was going to be a superstar when he left Florida State.
I did too.
But it was good seeing football on last night. We mentioned the new kickoff rule was in play. Anything that jumped out to you from the Hall of Fame game?
Great point about Cam Akers. I thought the same thing. I thought he was going to be a really good player. The kickoff is what I watched the most. I thought there were moments. I thought Brent Rippon for a while looked like a pretty good quarterback. I thought there were moments where you're playing a bunch of backups. But yeah, I didn't think the football was bad for the 2.5 quarters we got to watch. I watched a lot of it. Did you watch a lot? I watched a lot of the game, and I thought the football for a while there was pretty good. It just it feels so good to have it back.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. So, and again, it's all backups playing. Again, we all know what the preseason is. With more joint practices than ever, Hays, preseason games matter less than ever, which is why I'm convinced by 2026 we're going to only have 2 of them. But yeah, it was good to have football back for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's get into some injuries around the league. The Titans receiver DeAndre Hopkins will miss 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. Boy, that's the last thing Tennessee's offense did. That's
the one team that between suspensions and injuries has been hit pretty hard now. The Titans have been hit, and you're right. A team without a lot of offensive explosiveness didn't need to lose one of the best receivers in the last 2 generations, or the last generation, who's one of their few offensive stars. I agree with that.
Another injury of note, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert has a foot injury, but is expected to be ready for the season opener. But boy, that's something that you just have to think is going to be something that lingers and bothers Herbert all year, even if he can play through it.
Yeah, possibly. But it sure is. If you're going to have your star franchise quarterback hurt, get him hurt on the first day of August, not the first day of any other month moving forward. So I'll bet he comes back. We'll see.
The NFL won its appeal in the DirecTV case. Yeah. We talked about that earlier in the week with our legal guru, Brett Hastings, as the judge tossed a $4.7 billion verdict, feeling like the jury and I guess it would be the plaintiffs did not use the correct manner in which to determine damages. So the judge just throws it out. Huge victory for the NFL.
You know, we're not lawyers. That's why we have Brett Hastings, our legal analyst during Sports and Courts. He can clear this up for us better than we can. But that's bizarre that a $4 billion settlement, you blink an eye and gets overturned just like that. I mean, that affects a lot of people. Now, there will be more appeals, and this thing isn't over, but it really surprised me.
Yeah, I was very surprised as well. Let's get to the Olympics. Xander Schauffele shot a 5-under par 66 to join Tommy Fleetwood and Hideki Matsuyama atop the leaderboard at 11 under. Scotty Scheffler is tied for 10th at 6 under. 2 rounds to play to determine the gold medalist.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter if you're talking about a major points event, or elevated event, I guess they call them now, or the Olympics. The best golfers are the best golfers. That's what I think. The Xander Schauffele and Scotty Scheffler might be the 2 best players in the world. So I'm not surprised when you did that report. Hayes, you mentioned both names. That's what we see right now.
It is a injury-marred edition of headlines because as we get it to Major League Baseball, more injuries. Mike Trout,
I know.
Wow, will miss the rest of the season after tearing his meniscus again. Since 2021, the 32-year-old Trout has missed roughly 60% of the Angels games. Just a sad and really just, in terms of a Hall of Fame career, just disintegrating.
Yeah.
He'll still get in, but my goodness, he has lost a lot of time over these last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, Mike Trout's going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's much doubt about that. And look, he's 33, not 43. He's still got some time left, but or about to turn 33. But I got to tell you, I'm fearful. JJ, jump in here. I'm fearful we're going to look up in 5-6 years.
It's over, yeah.
And we're going to look back and go, what a shame about a career that what could have been.
I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought 5 years ago he was going to be the greatest player of all time. I'm
Yeah.
not exaggerating. Like, that's the course he was on, the record pace he was setting. And everybody, always says, like, hey, if he can keep it up. And, man, this just reminds me of Ken Griffey Jr. It's sad. He'll never be back. It's every single year. And, he came back for like an inning in the minors to try to rehab it, and then they found something else wrong. So his knee, it's screwed, man. It's really sad. He was my favorite player to watch, and I haven't seen him play, I feel like, in 5 years.
And he's a guy, he was loyal to the end to the Angels, but he's a Jersey guy. I wish he'd have gone back east. Phillies, Mets, Yankees, Red Sox, somebody. I wish he'd have landed
You think
on one
something would have been different, right?
Yeah, it just feels like
a change of scenery.
It just feels like it would have been. It really does.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Very, very unfortunate news for Mike Trout and his fans. We will get you out. On our musical note of the day, we are celebrating the best songs of the summer from 1984 this week. We conclude with ZZ Top's Legs. This was the 4th single released off of Eliminator. It peaked at number 8 on the Billboard 100, giving the band their biggest hit. So to recap, we've had When Doves Cry, Dancing in the Dark, Jump for My Love, The Heart of Rock and Roll, and now Legs. What a great summer of music back in 1984.
Boy, and what a great array of songs. The Bearded Boys from Texas to cap this thing off. Great collection. I loved your theme this week. It's been absolutely fantastic, as is this song. ZZ Top and Legs. We'll take a break. When we come back, Pete Prisco was in town today watching the Jaguars work out. He'll have some thoughts as he watched the Jags. That's next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL. Duval and defense.
The ball is out. The ball is out.
Things in Jacksonville.
Another sack for this Jacksonville defense.
Things on 1010XL.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Hey folks, Curtis Dvorak here. Are you a golfer, a pickleball player, or a concert lover? Well, if you said yes to any of those, join me for the first ever Patriot Games on Saturday, September 21st at the Yards in Ponte Vedra. All proceeds benefit Operation New Uniform, which is a transition training program for service members, veterans, and military spouses. For more information, visit onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
The restaurant of the day is Flame Broiler. Try the happy hour special, a mini chicken bowl with a drink for just $6.45. Order online at flamebroilerusa.com or check out one of 5 locations across town. Flame Broiler, simply healthy.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Right now, they're on their way to ruin your day. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. And if you're not prepared, you will suffer. Yes, it's that time of the year. Heat and humidity are attacking North Florida. But help is at hand. Call Mike Merritt's Heating and Air Conditioning. Mike Merritt has a license to chill and lets you maintain your comfort zone at a bargain price. How? Mike Merritt stands ready to help, routine or emergencies. And Mike Merritt knows emergencies can happen at any time. So with Mike, there's never any overtime charges. And Mike's team works without commissions. Merritt will never try to sell you parts you don't need. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Call Mike Merritt, the company North Florida has trusted for 35 years. Call today. License number CAC 050384.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
At Hidden Hills Golf Club, we truly love the game of golf. We invite you to book your next tee time here and enjoy a golfing experience that you might not find at other public facilities. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Mandarin quarterback Tramell Jones Jr., a 4-star prospect who will be continuing his football career at Florida State after his senior season, joined the drill yesterday morning to talk about the way Florida State develops their quarterbacks.
The quarterback development, you see how they used Jordan Travis last year. You see how they used different style quarterbacks when Jordan went down. And then you see how they're going to use DJ this year. Those are all different kinds of quarterbacks. And you see how Coach Norvell calls his offense and then his position for Florida State. It's just different than everyone else. When you go to a game I mean, you can really feel like you're at home.
Jones threw for over 3,100 yards and 33 touchdowns at Mandarin last season and still has this year to prepare to be a Seminole. Jones is hopeful to follow in the footsteps of a guy like Jordan Travis. It's 92 degrees at 4:58. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Time for all things Jaguars and NFL with Pete Prisco. The Prisco Report, presented by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Showtime.
On The Frangie Show.
All right, we thank our friends from Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles, always bringing you the segment with my buddy Pete Prisco. Got to remind you, by the way, Anton Harrison, one of the best players on the Jags, offensive tackle and a really good one, will be doing a signing at Showtime. That's on Sunday, August 11th. So it is a week from 9 days from now, a week from this Sunday, from 3:30 to 5:30. You want to go get Anton Harrison's signature? Now's the time to do it. August 11th, 3:30 to 5:30. One of the best young Jaguars, Anton Harrison. So head out to Showtime next Sunday. You'll be awfully glad you did. Good to see you in town today, Pete. Pete did his Jaguar trip. Anything jump off the page as you got to see him in practice for the first time?
Yeah, you know what's interesting, and I told you this, having been to Miami and Tampa, Tennessee, and well, that was a physical practice and a long practice, considering what everybody else has been doing, which
right.
is a little, it was good. It was good to see, pads popping. You never want to see anybody go down. We saw the kid, twist his ankle, and that was a bad injury. But I think that's a good thing, and I think it's a good thing to, sustain and try and get that toughness back and be a physical football team.
Pete, how good do you think the Jaguars can be this season?
I think they're better than they were a year ago, and they won 9 games, and whatever they were at 8-3. Even then, there was some questions about them when they were the number 1 seed. I mean, this team's better than that team. I think you see it in the way they throw the football down the field. I think you see it with the big play down the field. Mitch Morse being in the middle of the line makes it better. Sure, there's still questions, and defensively, I think getting Ryan Nielsen's big for them. I think getting this, playing a 4-3. Although, you're a nickel 70% of the time anyways, but playing that style of football will be better for what they have.
What's their biggest concern? Now, and I know this is the first time you've seen them in person, but you stay as connected with the Jags as anybody does. What's the biggest concern for the football team a week and a half into camp, in your opinion?
Well, I still think the interior of the offensive line is questionable. I mean, they brought Cleveland back, not a big guy, but a good athletic guy. Can Sheriff stay healthy? I mean, can he get back to playing close to what he used to play at? And Morse can be overpowered at times. He's better than Porter, but he's not like he's a top 5 center. So I think there's still some concern there. And then on the other side, I think the nickel corner, and they brought Savage in. I know he's done it. I still am worried a little bit about that when he's playing fast little slot receivers. I think that could be a problem. But I think those are the main questions.
You think you were a year early on Trevor? You think that maybe this is the year where he takes the huge step forward and maybe is in that MVP discussion?
I don't know if he's going to get in the MVP discussion because they're going to have a big season. And I'm talking about, winning 12, 13 games. I'm not sure they get there, maybe 10 or 11. But I think he's significantly better than what he was. I mean, there were so many things at play last year. The center, the offensive line, the setup, time clock, the whole thing. And I think driving the ball down the field, you saw that shot they hit to Thomas today.
Right.
I think those are the things you're going to have to see out of him, and I think you will see out of him. So, yes, he's going to be significantly better than he was a year ago.
Pete, my take on Trevor has been, and I want to know what you think about this, particularly after seeing him today. I agree with everything you said. I think he's going to be very good this year and moving forward. I think everything's in place. He's talented. He's a good guy. He's a great teammate. He works hard. I think the biggest thing is he's got to learn, Pete, what plays not to try and make. In this league, there's things that aren't there because the defense is so good. You can't hold the ball in an extra split second because you get sacked. You can't try to stick it into a window that's not there because that cornerback's too fast. I think when he learns which plays not to try to make, he'll be an extraordinary player. Do you agree with that take?
Yeah, and we can go back to a bunch of different plays on the goal line where
yes.
over the last couple of years, if you throw it into the crowd and live the play another day, you're better off. And I think those are the kind of plays he's got to get out of his system. People get on him about the fumbles and not taking care of the ball and everything. Look, bottom line is, when he's getting pressured the way he's getting pressured, sure, you're going to have some turnovers. You're going to, people are going to pry the ball loose. That's what those guys are trained to do. I'm not so much worried about that as the things that you talk about, getting the ball out, throw it away. You can, go to the next play. You don't have to try and squeeze everything in there. You don't have to be a hero on every play, and I think that's the next step for him.
Do you think Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker can elevate their play even more than what they were able to do last year?
I do. And I think, look, I don't know if the numbers are going to be that much better for, Hines-Allen, but he's, and I did an interview with him on camera today, and he's excited about putting his hand in the ground. I mean, and I'm sure Trayvon Walker, I didn't talk to Trayvon, but I'm sure it's the same way. Those guys need to be put the hand on the ground, exploding, going up the field, and I could sense just talking to him that he's really excited about it, and I think he's thrilled to be able to play that way. So, yeah, I do think they're going to be better. And you know what? If you choke off the run better, that's going to make your pass rush better. And so that's an important part of them, too, is, you got to be able to play better against the run, and I think they will.
I'll tell you this. I do get the sense, and I've told you this before, Pete, and I said this the first time I saw them practice, this group practice. They are longer, bigger, and you would think that would mean more physical. And I mean, at every position. I mean, their wide receivers are a physical receiving core now. I'm not even sure if they're twitchy enough yet, but it's a big physical core. Their defensive line is bigger than it's been. Honestly, Pete, it may be bigger than it's been since Stroud and Henderson. Didn't they look, again, the first time you saw them, didn't they look longer and stronger and bigger to you just taking a peek today from the sideline?
Particularly on the defensive side, yeah, I definitely, and that's a good thing. Particularly, you start with Miami. Miami's not a big physical offensive line. They have a center who's 280 pounds. You guys have seen him, Aaron Brewer. He's their center, so you're more powerful up there. It's really going to be good to to limit the run game and force teams to be one-dimensional. And I think getting Armstead back when he's in there and he was working. I don't know, you guys saw him. He was doing some work on the side. He works hard. But he's got to get back in there. They got to get him on the field. I think he's an important part of what they're going to try and do.
How much do you think Doug Peterson should play the starters in the preseason games 1 and 3? He's already said, obviously, against Tampa they won't because they have the joint practices. But what do you think is the right course of action?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it much in the first one. I might play him a little bit in the next one. I just think you got to be real careful with guys going down and injuries and that kind of thing. You got to get some work in. I get it. Series here, 2 series there, something like that. But I think the work against Tampa is big. I think that's where this league is heading. Instead of having 2-day works with teams and then play a game, you might have 3 days and not play the game. I think that's what we're ultimately going to get to because guys, and particularly quarterbacks and skilled people, they get so much more work done in those kind of practices than you do in a preseason game. So I do think that's where we're heading. But I'd be careful about playing guys.
Where have you been so far? Tampa, Miami so far?
Tampa, Miami, Tennessee.
All right. Give us an overview of all 3. Seeing them up close and personal, what jumped off the page there?
Well, I think Tampa's better than people giving them credit for. I do their roster and I look at it. They got like one job that's open. That's a good sign. And they got a bunch of good veteran leaders on that team, guys that have gotten paid. Wirfs got paid yesterday. Winfield got paid. Baker got paid. Mike Evans got paid. And they have a lot of young guys, too, speed guys. They drafted well. They had a really good draft. So I think Tampa's going to be better than people give them credit for. I know Miami, and I know Jacksonville plays in opening week. I worry about Miami's toughness. That's just something that, and I'm talking to some of the old-time Dolphin players that down there, we kind of agree on that. They're pretty, they're fun, they score points, they'll be entertaining. But when you got to beat a good team, and they didn't do it last year. They were 1-6, and that's concerning against playoff teams. They were 1-6. So can they, be a tough physical team when they need to be? I don't think they can. I don't know if they can. And then in Tennessee, they might be a year away. They'll be feisty as they always are. It's going to be a different Tennessee team. No longer just line up and run the football. They're going to throw it around with Levis, but they might be a year away. And Hopkins going down for however long he's down is not a good thing for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Jaguars, you mentioned, open at Miami and then come home to host Cleveland. What are your thoughts on Deshaun Watson? Do you think he is able to find his form, or is it another tough year for the Browns in terms of the quarterback position?
Yeah, and that's a good question. I mean, look, all the pressure's on him. He's got to go out there and do it. He hasn't been on the field. He's been hurt. And you know what? He makes all that money, and he's got to go out and play. I always thought he was a little overrated. You know, I just think that there were moments where he did some good things in Houston, but I always thought he was a tad overrated. So it'll be interesting to see if he can, you know, prove guys like me wrong. But he's a major question mark, no doubt about it.
The last night's game, maybe I didn't watch the XFL enough or whatever the hell they called it. Boy, the kickoff looked goofy, didn't it? I mean, and I'm not even saying I hate the rule yet. I'm just saying it looked goofy. Didn't you think that?
I hate the rule. I don't like it. Get it out of there. Give me a break. I mean, what's protect the players? If you want to protect the players, stick the ball at the 25 and go play football. I mean, if you want to try and get more returns, I don't necessarily see that as more returns. You know, they want to make it safer for the players. You know who got blasted? Every return man got blasted.
Right.
I mean, he took shot after shot after shot. And so I think, look, what are we doing here? I mean, you can't have an onside kick anymore unless you say, okay, we're going to have an onside kick. I mean, give me a break. I just think sometimes we overthink it and you try and get too cute. I don't like it. And I think more and more teams are just going to kick the ball out of the back of the end zone and put the ball at the 30.
By the way, that is weird. You no longer can do an onside kick unless you tell everybody you're doing an onside. That's an odd rule. I mean, the start the second half with a surprise onside kick is one of the fun plays in football, Pete. I'd forgotten about that. What a dumb rule that is.
And they had made the onside kick safer.
Right.
You know, they had eliminated a bunch of the dangerous part of that play. I mean, granted, you weren't getting it a lot of the time, but it was still there. And if it was a surprise one, you had a chance to get one. I just sometimes we overthink things, and I get it. Safety is, you know, first and foremost. It's important, but I just don't understand why they're doing this with the kickoffs. You know, if you think you're so worried about it, just put the ball on the 25 or 30 and go play football.
Do you have an early feel for who you're going to pick to get to the Super Bowl, or is it just too hazy at this point?
Well, I was doing my hits today from there, and everybody reminded me that I picked Jacksonville to go to the Super Bowl last year, and I'm going to forget that. You know, it's too early probably. I have an idea. I mean, I think when you look at the AFC, you almost have to go back to the Chiefs, even though three-peating is so hard. But, you know, I think their division is, it's not that tough. The Chargers will probably be better, but we don't know what the heck's going on with Herbert now with his plantar fasciitis. So I think that they'll dominate the division, and that's going to put them in a great standing to go win it again. And so I'm not picking against that guy. I'd probably pick the Chiefs. The NFC, I think, is San Francisco looks like the favorite, but I think there's teams like Green Bay. Watch out for the Packers. Every 6, 7, 8, 10 years, you see this young team where guys all come together. They have a little bit of a run, and next thing they know, they go into the next season, and it really comes together. And I think the Packers might be on the threshold of that.
All right, Pete, where are you going at? Where's you've been to 4 places. What's the next part of your tour?
I'm going in Buffalo next week. I'm actually going up there for about 3 days. I want to talk to a bunch of different people up there just to kind of get a feel for this whole idea that the window's closing. And, you know, I got to get my Josh Allen fix.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We all know.
Then I'm going to do the Commanders, and I might go to Green Bay before the end of the thing and go see them as well. Probably about 3 or 4 more teams.
All right, Pete Prisco checks in from CBSSports.com. Pete, great seeing you today, buddy. We appreciate it. Take care, man.
Absolutely. Good to see everybody. It's like old home week when I come home. You know?
It really was.
Like Evan Washburn and Charles Davis were giving me crap for going into the media room and knowing everybody in the place.
Which he did. Pete, thanks, buddy. Good to see you. Take care,
All right,
man.
guys. Take care.
We were kind of laughing about that today. We actually had one conversation. How many former Times Union employees
oh, yeah.
Former people that were sports writers at the Times Union at practice today. How many? Do you ever try and count them?
It'd be a bunch. I mean, we've got you, me, Matt Hays, Justin Barney, Michael Duraco,
John Osher,
Pete Prisco.
That's 7.
That's a lot.
7 that used to be that don't work there now. That used to be sports writers. 7 former Times Union sports writers were at that practice today.
It's amazing.
I mean, isn't that amazing? I mean, I'm wondering if we missed somebody.
That's what it feels like. Actually, it's a lower number because I bet you there is one that were
pretty amazing stuff. So thanks to Pete for checking. Always good to see my buddy Pete Prisco. His report is brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Again, big day, a week from Sunday. Every day's a big day there because they do a fantastic job. But a week from Sunday on August 11th from 3:30 to 5:30. Anton Harrison, the terrific offensive tackle for the Jags, will be there signing your autographs. You need to stop on by. I've got a 10-10 take. It's coming up after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Simone Biles becomes the first U.S. gymnast with 6 gold medals. She wins the individual all-around for the second time after pulling out of the final in Tokyo.
3 years ago, I never thought I'd step foot on a gymnastics floor again just because of everything that had happened. But at the end of the day, it is crazy that I am in the conversation of greatest of all athletes because I just still think I'm Simone Biles from Spring, Texas that loves to flip.
At 27, Biles is the oldest woman to win the all-around since 1952. Suni Lee takes the bronze. In the pool, Katie Ledecky gets the silver as part of the 200-meter freestyle relay, her 13th Olympic medal, a record for American women. And 57 straight Olympic wins for the U.S. women's basketball team to lock up a spot in the quarterfinals. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk. Life hack. Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
If you're from the South, you know all about fried green tomatoes and BLTs. So put some South in your mouth and get to Bono's to try the fried green tomatoes appetizer served with Reggie Ranch and one-of-a-kind Bono's BLT with smoked brisket, lettuce, and fried green tomatoes served with one southern side. Frank Frangie here, and I'm telling you, I love fried green tomatoes, and this sandwich is out of sight. So head to your local Bono's today. The fried green tomatoes appetizer and BLT is a summer sensation. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Mueller Aaron Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
challenger, a paint color namer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Irving Stapler.
Hi, Howie.
So the next round is word association. I'll say a word and you give me the first word you think of. Engagement ring.
Jeweler.
Gas station.
Fueler.
Aaron Burr.
Dueler.
Air conditioning.
Wow. Jeez. It's a toughie.
Come on, Irv. The sponsor's going to kill me now.
Oh, Bueller.
That's right, Irv. If your AC is struggling through the summer heat, the first name you should think of for fast, friendly, 5-star service is Bueller Air and Plumbing. The name to know to make sure you are cool.
Have a beer, Irv.
Cooler.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin, just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. 1010
Take.
Frangie's 1010 Take is brought to you by Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows K-12, a tuition-free A-rated school. Enroll now at baymeadowscharter.org.
I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to get right to this. If Graham Mertz starts and finishes 12 games, the Gators are going 8-4, are going to be in a decent bowl, perhaps a New Year's Bowl, perhaps an Outback Bowl, and I think the corner will be turned. I'll say it again. If he starts and finishes 12 games, the Gators will be the surprise team. They won't be in the playoffs. They won't make that. They're not going to make the 12, but the Gators will win 8 games, and they will be one of the surprise teams in the country, if not the surprise team, if Graham Mertz starts and finishes 12 games. My concern is I'm not sure he's going to. I'm not sure the line's ready. He's going to play brutal defenses all year long. We talk about how good the teams are they're playing. A lot of really good defensive teams, a lot of athletic defensive teams. If Graham, I will say it clearly at 5:23, if Graham Mertz starts and finishes, and yes, I know DJ Lagway is going to play some, and that's going to be part of what they do. It's going to be Leak and Tebow. And if Graham Mertz gets hurt and misses some games, then all bets are off, because I don't think DJ Lagway is ready to beat those teams. But if Mertz starts and finishes 12 games, 8-4 for the Gators, I'm very confident of it.
I think
that's the 10-10 take.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. I think you're onto something because what Graham Mertz gives you is a great chance to win the turnover battle each week because he protects the ball. And so if Florida's defense can improve, if they can become more opportunistic, forcing mistakes, then you feel like Florida, even in those tough games, might be +1, +2. Well, if that's the case, that's a great equalizer if the other team has a little bit better talent. I don't think Florida is also going to play teams other than maybe Georgia, where I feel like from a talent standpoint, they're just not even in the same class with that opponent. I think, obviously Ole Miss is very talented, LSU, Tennessee, Florida State, Texas, but I don't get the sense, other than Georgia, I don't get a sense that there's a team that Florida is just in a much lower level athletically than. So I think you look at it, and if Graham Mertz is able to play that kind of football, then I absolutely agree. Because to me, it all comes down to hold the swamp. As long as you just win your games at home, the season will take care of itself. If you can win your games at home and beat Mississippi State in Starkville, which an average Florida team should be able to do. This does not appear to be a particularly strong year for Mississippi State. So if you can hold serve at home and win in Starkville, well, aren't you basically at 8? You're at least at 7. I think you might even be at 8 because I think they play 7 games in the swamp, if I'm not mistaken. And again, I get that's asking a lot. That's asking to beat Ole Miss and LSU, and I understand, but it is the swamp, and if Florida has a good team, they are incredibly tough to beat in Gainesville. So, yeah, I see absolutely that point. It's going to be tough on Mertz, and he's going to have to make good decisions with his body. Obviously, he got hurt on that miraculous second effort run in the loss to Missouri, but he took some shots, in leading up to that. And they don't get the protection at that level that they get at the NFL. I mean, you can body weight the quarterback in college football, and Graham Mertz isn't particularly
He's 215.
big. So
215 in today's day and age for a 6'2" quarterback is small.
You certainly worry about that line if a lineman is able to get a clean shot on Mertz and is able to drive him into the ground if his body will hold up to that. Because I'm with you. If Lagway has to play, I think it gets – really, I think offensively you're pretty limited in what you're going to be able to do. So the key is Graham Mertz. I think from a decision-making standpoint, he'll be outstanding. I think the weapons around him are better. It comes down to, can they protect him? And I agree. They can absolutely win 8 games if Graham Mertz is – it's hard to beat a team in their house if the quarterback plays efficient football.
Now, and so assuming he's healthy, the one thing and you have always said this, you've been on this, so I'm going to give you credit. I'm late to the party on this one a little. But you have said this. Because so much has been made of the schedule, how hard it is, we lost sight of the break they catch with so many important home games. And you've said that. I would pick Miami to beat Florida in Miami. And I've gone back and forth, but I think I'm going to pick the Gators to win now. Even JJ, Miami fan, thinks. JJ, I'm guessing in Miami you'd pick the Canes, right?
This season, yeah, absolutely.
I would too. I would pick the but I'm like you. I think I'm going to pick Florida.
And I'd pick the Canes if the game was in Orlando.
Yeah, I would too. But I think.
But being in the swamp, it's a different environment.
We lose sight of the fact, and you have not lost sight of it, but I probably did. And people that the Miami, Texas A&M, Kentucky, LSU, and Ole Miss games are all in Gainesville. Now, if they're not a good team, they're going to lose all those games. He's going to get fired.
Right.
But assuming they have a good team, it's not likely that they're going to lose all those games. And so my guess, if he stays healthy, and he's got to be healthy, I don't know that they win in Knoxville. I know they usually beat Tennessee, but I think Tennessee's good. I don't think they're going to beat Georgia. I don't think they're going to win at Texas, and I think at FSU is a tough challenge. That's the 4. And usually I don't match. When I pick a record, I usually don't do a game-by-game thing. I just say big picture because that could mean they could shock the world and win one, but then lose at Mississippi State.
They could win at Texas, but lose at home to Kentucky.
Yeah, that right, correct.
Right.
But I think, but I think if he's healthy, and he's the now listen, Trey Wilson, I'd like to be healthy too. All right, I mean, he's not the only guy. Shamar James probably needs, right. But if Mertz is healthy, He threw 20 touchdowns and 3 picks last year and did not play the last game and a half. And the 3 interceptions, if you watched every play like sickos like us have, all 3 interceptions, I want to make clear, all 3 interceptions hit the receiver's hand. Did you realize that?
I remember his first one, the Pearsall one.
All 3. Now, let me be clear. In fairness, they weren't great throws. It's not like they hit him in the breadbasket and popped up. One time, Pearsall had to reach up and grab one, and the receiver did a good job to get his hand on it. But the fact is, the 3 interceptions hit the receiver's hand in some way. All 3. So he's really good at taking care of the ball. I think they're bigger and stronger than they've been. Say it again. If he's healthy, my prediction. Now, again, if you ask me to make my prediction, I'm going to predict 6-6 or 7-5. That's going to be my prediction for him because I think he's the little guy that's going to get nicked some. And I think he's going to play hurt a couple games, and I think he's going to miss some time. But so my Florida prediction will probably be 7-5. That's probably what I will say is my prediction. But I will tell you if he's healthy, I think they're going to be.
One good thing too with Lagway's arrival is if he is taking, let's say 10 snaps a game, something like that, which is what I would expect his role to be. Well, that is 10 snaps that Graham Mertz is not being exposed to injury. So, it does help you keep Graham Mertz healthy if Lagway is able. You feel comfortable with him going in and running those 10 plays. I hadn't thought about that, but that's a good point. And the plays Lagway is going to be in on are plays that the quarterback is probably going to be more prone to injury because what they're going to ask Lagway to do, I would think, is 3rd and 1. Okay, DJ go in, quarterback power, go get 2 yards. It's 2nd and goal from the 3. Okay, DJ go in, quarterback power, score a touchdown. So I think he's also going to be put in situations that will take some of the risk injury off of Mertz, which, hopefully will work to Florida's favor.
One thing that I saw that really surprised me, that we already know 6 of the games are day games. Do you know that?
Yeah.
We already know that there's already game times. Miami's 3:30, Texas A&M 3:30, at Mississippi State noon, which is a great break. Because that game could get scary. If they're not as good, the first road game of the year, first time they travel, you sit around all day, and all of a sudden it's 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Here come those cowbells. Those cowbells are loud. So help me, I've been there. Yeah. Those cowbells are louder at night. They just are. And so the fact that that's an 11 a.m. Central game, it really does help them. I don't sleep on that game, but it helps right. when it is. Georgia's 3:30 at Texas at 11 a.m. Central helps.
Absolutely.
That helps. I mean, again, those places get loud. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm more confident in them. But I think Mertz is such a key to them. I really do. 1 segment to go. We'll have it for you after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update, brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NASCAR Cup Series has another weekend off of the summer break, but they'll return to action on August 11th, racing that night at the Richmond Speedway for the Cookout 400. There'll be 4 more races remaining before the start of the 10-race playoff. 12 drivers have already qualified for the postseason. Denny Hamlin is the betting favorite to capture this year's NASCAR Cup Series championship. He has 3 wins on the season at plus 450. Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson are both at plus 500. William Byron plus 600 to win the NASCAR Cup championship, and Chase Elliott is plus 1,000. This update brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Hon, what do you say we go to the supermarket today?
Again? Weren't we just there yesterday?
Well, yeah, but it's just so nice and cool in there.
Why don't we just get our air conditioning fixed?
Can we afford it?
We can with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. They offer financing.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it will be.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. Repairs to new installations. Trust the Duck to keep your cooling costs low. DuckDuckAC.com.
you thinking about upgrading your outdoor space with artificial turf? Well, you're going to love working with Caleb at Sunshine Turf. He's genuine, always on time, and really trustworthy. Frank Frangie here. We had Sunshine Turf design and install turf at the Bragan Baseball Complex, and it's gorgeous and maintenance-free. From putting greens to pet runs around pools and more, Sunshine Turf can do it all. Visit sunshineturf.info to get a free quote today from Sunshine Turf. That's sunshineturf.info.
Attention sports fans, are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the major games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. Bet anywhere, win here. Only at Best Bet.
1010XL breaks down training camp all day. Listen for camp news with analysis and insight from the practice feed. Everything counts! 1010XL's training camp coverage is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL breaks down training camp all day. Listen for camp news with analysis and insight from the practice feed. Everything counts! 1010XL's training camp coverage is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Every weekend is a Stone Cold Sports Weekend. Hey, Dan Hicken here. Watch for the Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll help you put together your sports weekend. Weekend with Dan brought to you by Stone Core. We do the outdoors better.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hays. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3-putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major. Year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Are you worried about your roof? Protect it with a lifetime shingle transferable warranty with Universal Roof and Contract. Save up to $1,250 on your roof replacement, plus flexible financing up to 15 years. This expires August 31st and restrictions apply. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Hey guys, this is David Garrard, and I want to tell you about Clearwater Irrigation. They put my new sprinkler system in at my new home at Jack's Beach, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, hey John.
What's up, Dave? You know what this means. You're going to have to sing.
Man, I can't sing.
Then you'll fit right in, buddy. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. Hit it, Dave.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
for any urological concerns. Let Ackerman Urology be your trusted partner in men's health. With offices from Amelia Island to World Golf Village, they treat bladder conditions, elevated PSAs, and ED. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Last night at the Hall of Fame game, football fans got to finally lay eyes on the new kickoff beginning this season. Here's Coach Doug Peterson on his early thoughts on this new play.
I think you look at it and try to see if there's anything, when you watch it, any takeaways that we could possibly get from it. Both teams didn't show a whole lot. I think they were just trying to execute the drill, quite honestly. You know, I don't think it got past the 30 much, the ones I saw. So it's going to be interesting. Everybody's in the same boat, kind of figuring it out.
Obviously, no team is going to show their hand during the preseason, but practicing this new variation of the kickoff at game speed gives players a chance to get comfortable with the formation and gives coaches more film to prepare new ideas for the season. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, let's tell you where we've been as we cool it down a little bit. Hays caught up with Evan Ingram. Terrific interview with certainly among the best tight ends in Jaguars history, if not the best. Terrific player. We previewed the stadium practice, which is right around the corner. We reminded you that difficult injury for Patrick Murtaugh, one of the tight ends on the team. A very bad ankle injury, but the terrific Jags crack medical staff did a wonderful job with that very quickly. Pete Prisco stopped by. He talked a lot about the Jags. He was in Jacksonville today, so he had an opportunity to see the Jags and see what they have. And he's got some high hopes for the Jags, and so we'll see if it plays out that way. We talked a little college football as well. I told you, I'll say it again. If Graham Mertz starts and finishes every game, if he stays literally completely healthy the entire season, I think the Gators go 8-4, and I think that is that huge turn-the-corner season that everybody's been waiting.
Yeah, I think it could happen. He's going to have the ground game because I think Florida's got good backs. I think while they've lost Pearsall, I think Wilson, DK, and Badger, coupled with the rest of the gang. I mean, they've got a couple of speedsters there, too. Mizell, Hawkins.
Mizell's had a good camp, apparently.
Yeah, so, I think Boardingham at tight end did some good things last year. Can they incorporate him a little bit more? But again, it all comes back to two things. Can the offensive line not be a disaster? I think it'll be better because they, by their own admission, had guards playing tackle last year.
Right.
And now they've actually got tackles where they should be natural tackles. And it all comes down to that defense. I mean, if they're going to continue to be historically awful, then it's going to be too much for Graham Mertz. But if they can, they've been giving up like 28, 29 points a game for the last 2 years. If they can shave that down to 22, so Graham Mertz doesn't have to put up 30 every time he steps on the field.
That's right.
Then, yeah, it'll make a big difference in their record. So you hope that the veteran additions that they've made through the portal, the development of the young talent that played a lot last year, earlier than they probably should have been playing, but now maybe you reap some dividends of that. And you've got the incoming freshman class that probably aren't going to have massive roles, but you hope somebody like an LJ McCray can be, kind of what Mason Smith is going to be expected to be here. Not a starter, but can you go give us, 15 good snaps a game and create some problems? So the Florida defense is going to be the key to this thing. If Florida makes a big step forward defensively, I think they've got a chance to win 8 or 9 games. If it's the same thing that we've seen the last 2 years, then they're going to win 5 or 6 games.
And hire a new coach. Probably hire a new coach. JJ, tell me about Spencer Schwellenbach. What do you got for me?
Rookie pitcher for the Braves, right-hander. He's decent. His last start, he was really good.
Okay. He was pretty good?
Yeah, I wouldn't say pretty good.
Are we ready to give him a 9-year extension yet?
Yeah, exactly.
4-5, a 4.06. Okay, all right. And the meanwhile, Tyler Phillips goes for the Phillies. They're in Seattle. He's 3-0 with a 1.80. I wonder if he's if he's only 3-0. I wonder if he's a starter. I wonder if he's a what do you call him?
An opener.
Opener. I wonder if he's an opener if he's only 3-0. Wouldn't you think? Either that or he's a rookie, right? I'm trying to gain a game on the Phillies for you, JJ. I'm trying to help the cause here. Is what I'm trying to do.
Do you guys play the Phillies today?
No. The Phillies play at Seattle, and then the Braves play at home against the Marlins.
Oh, okay, Seattle.
So I think
it's 6 games now, right?
Yeah, 6. They're 6 back, and the Braves have won 3 in a row. I do think the Braves are going to sweep the Marlins. I mean, the Marlins are a AAA team now, so I think the Braves are going to sweep the Marlins. You got to believe that, right, JJ? The Braves.
No.
You don't believe they're going to sweep the Marlins?
I don't think they're going to win 4 games. No, that's just like I don't care who it is. In baseball, I would never bet on a team to win 4 games. No, maybe a 3-game series, but the Marlins played really good last night. They retired like 16 Braves in a row to end the game. No, you guys think the Braves are good. I don't know why they're not. They can't hit at all. I mean, last night they literally hit like 2 home runs, and that was it. That was. It's not. They're not good.
Yeah, I don't know if I think they're good. I just think I have a gut. Meanwhile, by the way, I haven't talked about this. None of us have on our show. Just got other stuff. You ever pay attention to what the White Sox are doing? Have you paid attention?
Yeah, they've lost like 18 in a row.
They've lost 17 games in a row.
17 in a row.
Which is 17 games in a row.
How? Like, you might accidentally win a game.
They've lost 17 in a row. They're 27-84.
Wow.
They're going to challenge the 62 Mets for the worst team of all time.
How many wins did they have?
I don't know. The 62 Mets, but they're
40.
Is that what it was? It was a 40?
I don't know if they'll get there.
Well, everybody else in Major League Baseball this season has at least 40 wins.
They have 27.
And they have 27. So they're 13 wins less than everybody else.
I don't know if they'll get there.
I mean, they've lost 17 in a row. In baseball, Hays, you love scoring margin or run differential?
Yeah.
They're minus 229.
Not good.
I mean, it's amazing.
What happened?
A major league team, and believe me, nobody knows bad baseball like I do, but it's amazing how bad they are. And I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I can't.
They're
ever
only
remember.
40 and a half games out of first.
They're 40 and a half games out of first. 40 and a half.
Wow.
By the way, with 2 months left, I mean, it's amazing how bad it really is, and they, I know some guys who know Pedro Grifol, the manager. He played at Florida State. He had no chance. He's getting fired. You got to fire him.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't not fire the guy that's going to lose 120 games.
What's crazy is they have one of the best pitchers in baseball this year.
Yeah.
They have a left-hander named like Crochet who is a beast.
Right. They thought they were going to trade him.
So maybe you'd expect like in 17 games, maybe him to have a start where they win 1-0 on like an error or something.
So I'm watching the Pirates. The Pirates played the White Sox 3 games before the All-Star break, right? And Crochet pitches one of those games. And I'm thinking, okay, the White Sox are terrible, so I did expect us to sweep them, okay, which the Pirates did. They pitched Crochet on, I want to say, the Friday game, maybe the Saturday game. He pitches 2 innings. They pull him out because they want him to be able to pitch in the All-Star game.
Oh, wow.
So, honestly, he pitched 2 innings. They pulled him out.
It's more important to us for him to show off in an exhibition game that doesn't involve our club.
And the Pirates scored like 7 runs in the next 2 innings. I mean, isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
This is it's honest to God, one of the worst teams.
Yeah. When does Skeens pitch again?
I think he's pitching Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, it's the Diamondbacks come to town, but it's Keller and Skeens over the weekend. So
Diamondbacks are good.
Yeah, they are good. Yeah, we lost 2 out of that. The Diamondbacks is the only series the Pirates have lost in the last 6. They've won 5 of the last 6 series, but they lost to the D-backs.
And it's Skeens on Sunday afternoon, 1:30.
Yeah. Keller Saturday and Skeens on Sunday.
Does Skeens still not qualify for ERA?
No.
It feels like
he hasn't
been up long enough to.
He's had 12 starts.
That's Reynaldo Lopez is barely.
Well, how many starts you figure you got to have?
I don't know what it is, but I just know like a month ago, like Reynaldo Lopez wasn't even eligible, and he starts like every 6th day.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Looks like
I don't think he'll even be eligible at all this year.
The lowest that I'm seeing is 108 innings in terms of guys that are being listed.
Yeah.
So
what's he?
I don't know where Skeens is.
Oh, okay.
I just was checking it because I thought, isn't he still like right around 1.90?
Yeah, he's
Skeens is at 80 innings.
Okay. Oh, 80. Okay, well, so
projected 120.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll get there. The leader is 2.35 right now for ERA.
Yeah, he's way under. What's Sales?
Sale is
he's got like a 2.71. Yeah,
because he's had a great season.
He could win the Cy Young.
He probably
should.
If I had a vote today, because a lot of people are saying Skeens might win the Cy Young. If I had a vote today, I'd vote for Chris Sale.
Yeah, I'm not with that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he is the best pitch. He might be the best pitcher, but
I agree.
You can't just come up halfway through the year.
Totally agree. Maybe I'll feel different on September 25th.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a couple months left. But the bad thing about a 1.9 ERA is if you give up like 2 runs.
Right, that's right. It goes up.
It's crazy to be able to keep that.
It goes up. So anyway, but it'll be fun. It's going to be a fun because there's so many teams in the National League
very
in
fun.
there. It's going to be a fun last month or two in the baseball season.
A lot of scoreboard watching, as they say.
Yeah, it is.
JJ, do you watch the Braves this weekend? You'll watch every Braves game?
Weekend is a little bit harder because I know my girls, wants to go out, whatever. It is our anniversary weekend, by the way. 1 year anniversary on Monday.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. But yeah, normally every night I watch them. Some years it's different, but for some reason this year I've watched like 90% of their games at least. I don't know why. I've just been pretty locked in, which is disappointing because they've been pretty crappy. But yeah, I usually watch all the weekday games for sure.
I watch
tonight. I'll be locked in.
I watch parts of every game. Now again, down 9-1 in the third. I'm probably not sticking around, but I watch.
Same.
But I watch parts of every game. About just about every game. So I'll be locked into.
And now with MLB TV, it's like I don't necessarily have to have it on the big screen. Sometimes, believe it or not, I let my bride watch television. Yeah. I have a laptop or a phone or something.
Very modern.
Yes, exactly.
That, by the way, that's disappointing, but please continue.
But you know what? Sometimes I'll come home from work and she will have the game already on, ready for me.
That's love.
Yes.
That is.
It's new love.
On both. Right. So far, it's so far love. So, hey, do want to remind you, folks, there will be a stadium practice. You had to sign up for it, but I hope you did because it's going to be a lot of fun to watch down at the stadium tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I do think there's a different vibe for a game in the stadium, for a practice in the stadium. It's still practice, but I think when guys get in there, when they see that this is where they particularly guys who haven't played it there before, there's a juice. Don't you expect that?
There will be, and the crowd too. I mean, I think that it'll be a good crowd, and so I think that gets the players excited as well. I wouldn't expect a physical practice because of how physical and long it was today, but I would expect that you're going to see an air show. I mean, I think Trevor is going to be airing it out left and right, so I would think a lot of 7-on-7, a lot of passing. Probably not going to see a lot of, goal line because they did that today and a lot of, full contact, tackling to the ground. But I think it will be fun in terms of seeing Trevor throwing it around to all the weapons.
Yeah, it will be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, a week from tomorrow, Pat Mahomes in town.
Yeah.
Probably not playing.
Probably going to play at the stadium course.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right.
Wear a hat during the game.
That's right. But a week from tomorrow, there's a game, which is kind of cool.
Right.
Folks, that's our program. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't go anywhere. Rick Ballou is next. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.